Welcome back to Saturn of Brookings. Today I have the overdue episode continuing the engine swap in my GMC Sonoma. As a refresher, in August of 2025, I bought a $200 1996 GMC Sonoma pickup truck with a failed 2.2-liter engine and 5-speed manual transmission. I bought a low miles replacement engine on Facebook Marketplace and then later found out that it wouldn't work. So then, I pulled a properly compatible 2.2 out of a 97 Chevy Cavalier at Ronner's Auto Parts in Wilmer, Minnesota. That should bring you up to speed. So now I have to put this engine in my truck. Unlike the 94 engine, this actually has a knock sensor, a cam position sensor, and an evap solenoid, among other things. Here are the block numbers if you're interested. This engine is the same as what is supposed to be in my truck, but this LN2 was installed in a front-wheel drive J-body car. Before I can stick this engine in my truck, it must be reconfigured for rear-wheel drive. There are hoses, brackets, adapters, and manifolds that need to be swapped from the truck's old engine over to this one. The EGR manifold, located on the rear of the Cavalier engine, is very different. The EGR valve itself is positioned differently. Additionally, the manifold contains coolant passages for the radiator and heater core, as well as the temperature sensor. All of these cooling system functions are located on the front of the Sonoma's engine. The intake manifolds are basically the same, but the sun-baked Cavalier intake is covered in aluminum oxide powder. Since I'm replacing the intake gaskets, I'm just going to use the truck's intake manifold. Speaking of manifolds, the cast iron exhaust manifolds are also different from each other. This is to accommodate different tailpipe locations in the cars and trucks. Because mounting brackets are different between the cars and trucks, the Cavalier engine has some mounting holes that went unused. They will now be used, but I had to run a metric 10 by 1.5 tap through to clean the dirt out. The truck engine has this brass pilot bearing in the back of the crankshaft. Pilot bearings are used in engines that are connected to manual transmissions. The bearing holds the end of the transmission's input shaft in place. Well, the Cavalier engine spent 28 years working with a 4T60 automatic, but I have this nice new bearing that I will pound in place. I also did the rear main seal. The oil pan is shaped differently, so that will have to be removed from the truck engine. As you can clearly see, the engine is made up of engine components, some of which are hanging out in the bottom of the oil pan. The plastic parts are from the timing chain tensioner, but it seems that the oil is full of a fine metallic powder that probably originated from every bearing in the block. It took a while to get the metal paste cleaned out. Oops, I bought another Saturn. Yeah, this is a real nice one. Didn't even make it out of town. Anyways, I did some off-camera mining and I got the Cavalier engine fully installed in my truck. These projects get to be much more difficult when I have to film everything for my videos, so sometimes I just don't film all of the parts. This went on for several minutes until we realized the obvious. It did not want to start. We didn't seem to be getting any spark, and the ignition coil module was the only thing I did not swap from the truck engine. I quickly removed the Cavalier coils and replaced them with the known working truck coils.
Brake off?
Yeah, it's off.
You want me to give it a shot?
We're good. I'm just not good at driving manual.
Ooh, we're going fast. Turn off the way off. Well, it'll self-clear.
There we go.
Maybe they were just stuck because they weren't moving for a month. Okay.
Well, this isn't exactly a tractor.
Ready? You're ready.
I put 28 miles on the truck that night and nothing bad happened. Even though I just changed the oil, I will change it again. I don't know the history of this engine or what's in it. Sure enough, the oil had some stuff in it. The coolant was also dirty, so I flushed it a few times. But for having done absolutely nothing to this mystery Cavalier engine, other than swapping on rear-wheel drive components, it runs very well. The truck itself is a bit of a piece of junk, but that's what you get for $200. Over the next few months, I replaced broken items. Some I filmed and some I did not. For example, no, I did not fix the air conditioning properly. I just bought an AC delete belt. In my efforts to flush the cooling system, I accidentally left hose water in the pipes, and it unexpectedly got cold one night. So now I get to replace the heater core. It may not be a very difficult job, but it is very time-consuming. The catalytic converter has holes drilled in it, so the truck is loud and it smells. I consulted the original owner, and he stated that the catalytic material inside fell down and would occasionally block airflow. He drilled relief holes so that the engine would run normally. I may have my differences with the EPA, but if there's one thing I really despise, it's loud trucks that smell. This is the Rock Auto Special. It should have enough material in it to satisfy the Sonoma's downstream O2 sensor, and it will also cut down on noise. See that label and all that nice gray paint? That all immediately burned off after a few hours of running. At this point in time, the cat is mostly bare metal with some scraps of burnt paint. So that brings us to today. I did finally learn how to drive manual, and the truck has been pretty useful since it received a new engine. The GM 2.2 engine does not make the truck move very fast, but I prefer the fuel economy and simplicity of four-cylinder engines. The new Venture Gear 1500 transmission works great and shifts normally. The cab and operator's station is comfortable. This truck may have the most basic drivetrain available, but it was optioned with the extended cab and many power conveniences, such as windows, locks, and cruise control. The body is worn and the shock absorbers are blown out. There is body panel rust, but the frame itself is good. One day, I would like to replace the Sonoma with something a bit bigger. I wanted a truck so that I could haul junk around. The Sonoma has the truck bed, which is nice, but towing with it is as good as useless. I've been thinking about getting a third or fourth generation Chevy or GMC C truck, but the Sonoma will do for now. I ended up taking apart the original engine as well as the blown-up Saturn engine from the previous video. An autopsy of both engines will be the next episode. That's going to be it for this one, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.